Welcome back to MMA Unleashed, where fight fans get their real stories, raw drama, and all the latest news from the octagon and beyond. In the past few weeks, the light heavyweight division has been on fire. Alex Pereira, the former champion, and Magomed Ankalaev, the current title holder, had a heated altercation that is grabbing headlines across the MMA world. To make things even more interesting, Strickland has suddenly found himself at the center of an unexpected emergency, adding a layer of mystery to an already explosive fight week. For the next 25 minutes, we'll go deep into the story, the background of these fighters, the confrontation itself, what we know about Strickland, and how all of this could shape the UFC 320 main event. Grab a seat and let's get started. The fighters and their history. Alex Pereira is one of the most feared strikers in modern mixed martial arts. After a successful kickboxing career, he made a rapid rise through the UFC ranks, winning titles at middleweight and light heavyweight. His signature left hook and devastating power have produced highlight reel knockouts and made him a fan favorite. But Pereira's reign at light heavyweight ended earlier this year when he lost the belt to Magomed Ankalaev at UFC 313 by unanimous decision. That loss set the stage for a heated rematch and planted the seeds for the confrontation we'll talk about today. Magomed Ankalaev is a different kind of threat. The Russian powerhouse is known for his composure, heavy hands, and relentless pressure. He entered the UFC as a rising prospect and slowly built a reputation for grinding opponents down. When he finally faced Pereira at UFC 313, Ankalaev executed a disciplined game plan that neutralized Pereira's striking and earned him the title. Since that victory, Ankalaev has carried himself with quiet confidence, but tension between the two fighters has never gone away. The rivalry grows. In the months after UFC 313, subtle digs and comments began to appear in interviews and social media. Members of Ankalaev's camp accused Pereira of greasing during their first fight, claiming there was a substance on his skin that made grappling difficult. Pereira strongly denied those accusations and fired back with his own claims. He suggested that Ankalaev avoided him at the UFC Performance Institute during a previous visit, hinting that the champion was hiding or unwilling to face him outside the cage. Neither fighter backed down, and the rematch scheduled for UFC 320 promised not only a title fight, but a clash of pride. The confrontation at the UFC Performance Institute. The rivalry finally spilled over in Las Vegas. Both fighters happened to be at the UFC Performance Institute for training and testing. Witnesses and video clips show Ankalaev approaching Pereira while using a translator app on his phone. Through the translator, Ankalaev told Pereira that they would settle everything in the octagon on October 4th and that there was no need for more words. Pereira, seated and calm, responded in Portuguese, saying that he had never been the one talking trash and calling Ankalaev an asshole for only speaking when cameras were around. The brief exchange was tense but controlled, with security nearby to make sure nothing escalated physically. For fans, it was the confirmation that this rivalry is real and personal. Media reaction. As soon as the video surfaced online, it spread rapidly across MMA outlets and social media. Fans debated who came out on top. Some praised Pereira for staying calm and refusing to be intimidated. Others admired Ankalaev's direct approach and saw it as a show of champion's confidence. Analysts pointed out that psychological warfare can be as important as physical preparation. Both fighters now carry extra pressure into UFC 320, knowing that any sign of weakness could shift momentum before the opening bell. Training camp intensity. While the confrontation grabbed headlines, Pereira's training camp added another storyline. During a hard sparring session, he accidentally injured training partner Austin Ross with a powerful knee to the face. The impact caused a deep cut that required stitches.
You okay, Austin? You got a knee?
That's great.
Sorry, my brother. It's okay. It is what it is.
Although accidents happen in combat sports, the incident highlighted the intensity of Pereira's preparation and sparked discussion about safety in high-level camps. Pereira apologized publicly, explaining that it was an unfortunate accident and that he supports his teammates fully. The story reinforced the image of a fighter who trains with fight night ferocity every day. Sean Strickland's emergency. Now, we come to the unexpected twist involving Sean Strickland. Strickland, a former middleweight champion and one of the most outspoken personalities in MMA, has been helping Pereira prepare for the Ankalaev rematch. Reports surfaced of an emergency involving Strickland, but as of now, details remain limited. Some rumors suggest a training injury. Others point to a personal matter outside the gym. At this moment, there is no confirmed explanation, and both Strickland and the UFC have remained quiet. Whether it is a minor issue or something more serious, the uncertainty has fans refreshing social media for updates. If Strickland is unable to continue working with Pereira in camp, it could disrupt the final weeks of preparation and force last-minute adjustments. Impact on UFC 320. The combination of these events creates a fascinating build-up to UFC 320. Pereira enters the rematch hungry to reclaim his title and prove that the first fight was not the true measure of his abilities. Ankalaev, the champion, wants to silence any talk of hiding or avoiding confrontation and show that his victory was no fluke. The heated encounter at the Performance Institute adds emotional fuel. Every stare and every word now carries extra meaning. If Sean Strickland's emergency removes him from Pereira's camp, it could change training strategies and mental preparation. Fans are left to wonder whether these distractions will sharpen Pereira's focus or pull him off course. Breaking down the fight itself, Pereira's path to victory is clear. He needs to keep the fight standing, use his reach, and land the kind of power-loaded shots that have ended so many of his bouts. Leg kicks, the left hook, and calculated pressure will be critical. For Ankalaev, the formula is about composure and control. He will look to mix wrestling with striking, slow the pace, and take Pereira into the later rounds where fatigue can become a factor. Both men know each other well after the first fight, which means adjustments and small details will decide the outcome. Fan anticipation. UFC 320 has quickly become one of the most anticipated events of the year. The storyline has everything. A former champion seeking revenge, a current champion defending his throne, a public confrontation that shows real animosity, and a mysterious side story with Sean Strickland that keeps everyone guessing. Ticket sales and online chatter reflect the excitement. Fans around the world are debating fight picks, imagining different scenarios, and counting the days until the rematch. Closing thoughts. As fight night approaches, the tension will only grow. Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev have already shared words and looks that reveal how personal this has become. Sean Strickland's situation adds an unpredictable element that could influence preparation or even the fight card itself. When the octagon door closes at UFC 320, all the talk, rumors, and speculation will give way to action. For now, all we can do is watch the build-up, follow the updates, and get ready for a battle that promises to deliver drama inside and outside the cage. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive into the UFC 320 storyline. Stay tuned for more Fight Week coverage, weigh-in reactions, and final predictions as we get closer to one of the biggest rematches of the year.